This camera right here by Fuji sucks.
Is this the most overhyped camera ever made in the history of cameras? Yes.
Wait, what?
This is just a bunch of hype to get you to buy another camera. And then next month, the new Canon comes out, and then you're going to get hyped to buy the new Canon, and then the new Sony, and then Nikon's going to come out of nowhere.
Is this true? Let's talk about it. Are we ready? Let's do it. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to the channel, this is dedicated to photography and as a photo artist and trying to push you to think creatively out of the box. Now let's take a look at, before I get into why the Fuji camera sucks and all this bashing going on, I've got a little bit of a rant, but this is a Saturday. This is April 6th. And what I've decided to do is use a Saturday maybe once a month to actually cover different comments that come into me and issues that people want to have clarified. So before I jump into the new Fuji camera, and that is the Fujifilm X100VI that just was released a few weeks ago, let's talk about, somebody keeps asking me, or actually 2 or 3 people keep asking, would you consider doing a live stream? Yes, I have, but I don't feel I have enough people yet on my channel. And also, I'd have to look into software to do that. And what would you want to see on a live stream? Is it a Q&A session? I mean, do you want me to maybe take an image of mine that I photographed and watch me, process that and edit it based on my vision? I mean, I'd like to get some feedback on that. The other things people are asking is, could we send some of our images in for you to showcase on the channel? And the answer is yeah, but I'm not going to critique them because I don't know what your vision is. I don't think that's fair. And everybody's at different levels of photography. And so, a lot of us are just starting out and we might be nervous to showcase that. And that's fine. I don't think you should be judged if you're new. The whole thing is to improve yourself to get better and better over time. Also, a lot of people are asking for these little mini training classes, so I'm going to be doing that. You got to give me a little bit of time, but I'll build up a little library of stuff so that you guys can go to buymeacoffee.com/Stephen Photo Artist. The link will be right here, and I'll start loading up stuff there. So if you want to purchase something, and it'll help support the channel. But again, I promised I'm only going to charge between $5, some might be $7, and a higher amount would be $10. I don't want to go over $10. I'm trying to keep this, as low as possible for everybody. Because I know not everybody is doing this as a business. Most of you guys are doing this as a hobby because you just love photography. All right, let's get into that Fuji camera right now, okay? So, sorry if this was clickbait, but you know what? Other people are doing the same thing, and I don't like that. So this is my little rant on what you just saw. I'm going to put a link to this video. So watch this video for a little bit. I'm going to show about maybe 15 seconds, so here we go.
The new Fuji X100VI. It's the new Fuji that came out yesterday, and we are shooting with our influencer today. This is about the most overhyped camera that we've ever seen. And yes, you know what camera I'm talking about. Okay,
so let me do my little rant on this. Now, the person that put this video together, I'm not judging the person as a bad person or he doesn't know what he's talking about. I think he seems very well, knowledgeable of photography and gear and has got some great experience. I'm just not a big fan of certain things that he said. And let me explain. And again, I'm sure he's a pretty nice guy. The camera's overrated, overhyped. Well, everybody does that. I mean, come on. Canon does it, Sony does it, Lumix does it, and the list goes on. So to just bash, this is the most hyped camera, no, come on. That's his personal opinion. But, hype is hype. What I want to know, I'm going to ask you guys a question at the end, and I want to get some feedback from you. So stick with me on this video, by the way. His biggest thing was, not only is it just overhyped camera, but it's overpriced for what you get. And I've got an issue with this overpriced stuff because you guys know that I shoot Canon. And you have to pick a company brand as your main camera, whatever. I mean, you might have other brand cameras, but the point is that I've got a couple full frame Canon cameras. The oldest one is coming up on close to 7 years now. I don't have the urge to buy another camera because the one I have still works and it gives me what I want with client work. And by the way, somebody did ask also a question. I got like 3 or 4 people that said, do you do the photography full time? And the answer is no. I never have. For 20 years, I taught Photoshop internationally with a international training company. That was my full time job. And in between, because I had a lot of time, I usually get like a week off every month. I was scheduling things, and I knew my schedule 3 months out in advance. So I'd schedule like weddings and high school senior shoots and family shoots, that kind of stuff. And I'm still doing that today, but I'm not doing event photography like weddings, etc., because of my age. And it's just too demanding. But boy, I love doing the weddings. But let's talk about complaining that this camera is overpriced, Nick. In my opinion, is compared to what? I'm sort of married to Canon because I have all this gear and lenses, and anybody right now, if you bought a new camera within the last 5 or 6 years, you got a darn good camera. 20 years ago, that was different. But now these camera companies are trying to, what can we do to make you get excited, to actually buy our camera? And yeah, they all hype that up and stuff. But what you really have to ask is, do I really need this? Is this going to, I have this thing about being in business, return on investment. Well, I get what I need to get with client work with the camera and gear I have. Why do I need to change? It's just an added expense, and that just hurts my bottom line, okay? But if I want to buy a camera, I could, but I just don't need to. But let's talk about my point and shoot, which is the Canon G1X Mark III. I had the original G1X years ago that I donated and gave that away. But the point is, I like Canon color science. I'm used to Canon's menu system. So when I bought that camera, is that G1X Mark III the cheapest possible camera I can get for just vacation stuff? Because that's what I bought it for, and other things, so I don't have to carry around big gear. And the answer is, yeah, I could find something cheaper. And so to make a statement like this person did that, well, this is on the high side, I can get a cheaper camera at the same specs. Fuji people, Fujifilm photographers, I'm going to tell you something right now. You like Fuji gear for a personal reason, whatever that reason is. Their color science, the way the camera feels in your hand, the menu system, whatever. Let's say I shot Fuji, and I've got all these lenses I've accumulated over the years, and I love the cameras. I got 2-3 different cameras over time. And now I'd like to get like a camera for vacation. I just don't want to lug around all these lenses and stuff, and maybe use it for street photography. If you had the interest in doing that, and you just want something small. Why should I not get that camera? If I like it, I like the menu system, I like the color science, I'm going to buy the camera. If I'm a Fuji, if that's what I'm looking for. So my point is, well, this thing about price, let's throw this out. Look at the clothes that you're wearing right now. Are those the cheapest possible clothes that you could have bought? And I'll guarantee the answer is no. Look at the car that you're driving or leasing. Is that the cheapest possible car that you could have bought or leased? I'm telling you the answer probably is no for the vast majority of you. So if price is such a big deal, we can keep knocking down till we find that cheapest possible, level of whatever you're looking for. But to me, it's the value that you're getting. It's just, knowing the brand and how it shoots and the color science. That's more important. So what if you end up paying just a few $100 more? If you like it and that's what you want, I'm telling you, get the camera. That's important to you. So let me ask you this question. When you see people bash cameras and the other ones will praise the camera with maybe some minor pros and cons, does it confuse you when you're looking for, say, a new camera? You're in the market for something like this, and then you hear these pros and cons, and then you get the extremists that are just really tearing the camera apart. I think for new people, that really confuses you. So make some comments back on YouTube. What do you feel? Do you think you like that kind of stuff or not? Because the reason I'm bringing this up is somebody asked the question, how come you don't talk about camera gear, the camera body gear, like and like Canon and stuff. Well, I mentioned why I shoot Canon, and that's a past video, and it's not what you think it is. Again, go view that, or I'll put the link so you can watch that video if you haven't seen it before. But my point on all this kind of stuff is you want to do your own homework on these cameras, and figure out the pros and cons of it. And every brand or every model, there's going to be pros and cons. It's what do you do as a photographer? What do you need? What are the features that are really important that stand out? And if it meets that or most of that, then, consider buying it, or maybe buying a used version of it. The previous, I don't know how much money you have, and it's none of my business to know that. But the point is, I think this kind of stuff confuses you, and I'd like to get your opinion. Do you like when people tear apart cameras and other ones who praise it, and then it just, you're going, I don't know what to do. I'm so confused, especially for new people. I think that tends to be a problem. So I'm just telling you, if you're fairly new to photography, take your time. Look at other people's reviews. Figure out what this camera offers. Does it meet your needs and your budget? And if it does, go for it. You got to, pull the trigger per se on something, right, to get something. So anyhow, this is my chill out session, a little bit of a rant, but I think I'm going to do this on Saturdays because my normal stuff comes out on Wednesdays. And so maybe once a month, I'll address some issues like the funny stuff. Here's a couple comments, and I'm fairly new to YouTube right here. Your intro is a bit too long. And that's, when I'm flashing through the images and stuff, if you've ever seen the intro all the time, and it's too long. Well, here's what's funny. I would look at other people's intro and I would time them. And I see some that are like 15 seconds. Mine's 20 seconds. And I see other ones that are about 30 seconds. So I'm middle in the road. So I had somebody that made a comment, oh, your intro's too long. Okay, I need to refer you to the other person that said, hey, your intro's a little bit too fast and short. My reaction to that is, what does that have to do with the content that I just presented, on the channel? And so I just get a big kick out of that. I'm not bashing those people, but it's just human nature. That's just the way we are. All right, so let's end this, and that is, I want your opinion. What do you think? Does, showcasing these cameras like that where people are, raving about it and stuff, and then other ones are just tearing it apart, is that helpful, or does it just confuse you? I'd like to know. Anyhow, you got any issues or questions? Email address is right here at the bottom. It's stephenphotoartist@gmail.com. Till next time, see ya.